Hi, I'm your dad's cumsock, Yvonnedeculo.
I totally forgot what I was gonna say. Cumsock, my god. I'm a very lost and confused pantsless wizard, Jake Loom.
And welcome to the Victory Lap, where we will be discussing the most recent episode of All Stars, Season 2 of
RuPaul's Drag Race.
This episode was crazy.
Almost as crazy as us today. You didn't know we were costume queens.
Well, since Fifi's gone now, somebody has to do it to a moderately decent level. So we started the episode off with some drama between Fifi and Alyssa, which just gave me all the life that I needed. And we were told that a queen is going to come back. I think this was a really cool episode because it was all teams, it was comedy, everybody loves the comedy challenges, and I think that everybody really did a pretty decent job. I don't think that any of these girls are particularly comedy queens, with the exception of Ginger and Katya being like the self-proclaimed, and I feel like everybody did a pretty decent job for what their talents were. I thought this was one of the best episodes in RuPaul's Drag Race history, though, just because of what it was.
I'm gonna tell you how I disagree entirely with Santino. I am not a fan of the comedy challenges. In fact, they are my least favorite because if you have, 5 queens, 4 out of 5 are going to just struggle through it. You know what I mean? So like, watching it, every time RuPaul says the words comedy and challenge, my butthole just goes, it doesn't do that often.
It's 2 prolapse for that.
I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay.
Silencio.
That's Spanish.
It isn't, and I don't think that's an actual Harry Potter spell. I was really nervous going to this challenge. I was excited that we had the queens back for their revenge. I always get worried at comedy challenges. We had a lot of queens who did not do well in their respective comedy challenges. I'm looking at you, Detox Roxy, and also
Detox
Alyssa.
did well.
I'm thinking of the roast, and she did okay, but like,
It was okay.
The biggest thing, it's okay. The biggest complaint I had was just that she just relied on the cussing, and she lost her place a couple times and just started just cussing.
This comedy challenge was performed in front of drag queens, which I thought was very, very fun. And I think what was really intelligent about this is that because these were all RuPaul girls who are going to come on and watch them, if any of them decide to be blabbermouths about what they saw,
She can sue 'em.
I think that it was intelligent that they were all in teams, because then they may look at it like, oh, it's like the first All Stars where they're all in teams again. And maybe they might look at Roxy and be like, I wonder why she's alone. Maybe her partner left. But I mean, I feel like there was something very intelligent about making the audience drag queens, that if they were going to include them at any point in the competition, this was the right moment to. Because then they might not be so suspicious about all the twists and turns and things that are going to happen this season.
Yeah, drag queens and random audience members.
Yeah.
Who I'm pretty sure was the crew, because I think I saw the one guy.
There were some crew
that
members there, I think.
that Ginger was like, he's always up in there texting on
With
that
his
phone
big
with
old dick.
with that tightest of pants.
Laganja looked amazing.
Yes,
Gia
mama.
looked amazing. Sonique looked... They all looked so good. And Jaden looked snatched.
Gia was there.
Gia was there. I didn't see a lot of winners. But I mean, I guess they blew the budget on getting the winners coming in for season 8. So
I mean, they're busy gals.
They're busy.
They're busy. They had shit to do.
We'll just kind of roll through the performances here. Roxy, as expected, didn't do that well. I was really disappointed that she kept the Tasha Salad character.
She should have started as Roxy, done Tasha Salad, done Tamar.
That would have been funny.
Done...
Her courtroom character, maybe.
Just do like... come out in a sequence.
Her highlights.
Like, what she should have done to be smart is she should
She
have...
could have come out in her 80s look and been like, where my people at?
Like, yeah, she could have, talked about her sequence gown. Like, she should have been smart, and she tried to MC this like she was at a club.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with that being, the club audience is going to be different than an audience of your peers and Paul.
Well, because in a club, most of your audience members are going to be slightly intoxicated. They're going to think everything you have to say is funny.
Right, and it's like, and see with the club, you can go out there and be like, shit, girl, how you doing, girl? I'm telling you, I have never seen so many homosexuals in one building since last night in my apartment. Like...
That's funny, though.
I know. So, but, like, you can be a little more hacky-McGee with it. It doesn't have to be intelligent. But when you have all of your peers, And then all the crew,
people who probably wanted to be on the show,
people who wanted to be on the show, who are sober, who have probably been sitting for a while they were setting up the cameras and the lights, and then Miss RuPaul and the judges, like, you have to be intelligent about it, and you have to be mindful of how they're gonna edit it. The weirdest thing about the whole Tasha Salad thing was, like, she brought it out out of like desperation. It
was such an odd character to bring out because I don't think that character even really personified Roxy. I think there were so many other characters.
Yeah, I mean, it won her the challenge, didn't it?
No, she
was sensational. I thought she
good.
Won.
I think Detox won that one.
Just kidding. That's it. Roxy. My biggest disappointment for Roxy was just that it was a missed opportunity.
Her gown was gorgeous though, and I loved her hair and her beat. Her mug looked really good.
That's what she's good at. She looked good. But missed opportunities, if you can't be clever, be self-referential and poke fun at yourself.
I don't want to talk too much about every single group because I have very little to say about all of them.
Like, I had the most opinions about Roxy because I just was so disappointed.
And like especially knowing that you're going to MC the whole thing, like do your best to be the best that you can be because they're going to look most critically on you. Coco and Fifi, I didn't like either one of their characters. Fifi's done that character in season 4 for the Glamazon versus Champion, and then Coco pulled out another character too, which it wasn't as funny or as bombastic as the first time that she did it. And I didn't think they were that interesting.
It was Rue's good cousin from the projects on Ambien. It was just like, she looked good.
Coco looked really, really good.
I will say though, I was like, is that her Nicki Minaj look just with some leather over it and a darker wig?
I will say her padding was amazing.
Great. Face not orange, beat. But yeah, it was a missed opportunity, and Michelle nailed it on the head. It derailed quickly from like a funny sketch to like a scene study into like bad improv.
Katya and Ginger, I was very whatever about. I thought Ginger kind of did what she did to Candy Ho in that comedy challenge where she kind of just steamrolled over Katya. But I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, I feel like the focus of each one of these groups was for the eliminated queen to shine because they were the ones that were going to have to lip sync in the end. So in that sense, I feel like it was very smart that Ginger kind of took the lead on it.
Yeah.
But I was just very whatever about their performance. I don't really remember anything either one of them said.
Ginger's joke that I liked was the one like, she hasn't gotten the clap from that many people since last night at her house, or whatever her joke was about Katya having STDs. But those were like the big jokes, and you know, it was just clunky. I was totally agreement. It was clunky. It wasn't bad, just wasn't great.
Yeah.
Clunky.
But I think that Katya did a very safe performance, so I wasn't mad that she was safe this week.
Yes, which she should have been last week.
And then we have our 2 winning groups, which were Alyssa and Alaska. And I thought Alaska was so smart to kind of just let Alyssa off her leash and just do her Alyssa isms. And a lot of people are getting really mad, and Fifi in particular called her out on this and is being very vocal on social media. And a lot of people is that the judges are just like, oh, Alyssa's weird and kooky, and so they let her get away with things. But, and like, to some extent, yes, they do, but they also do that with everybody else. They do it with Roxy all the time. Like, oh, you weren't that great in the challenge, but your look is amazing, you're gorgeous, you're beautiful, so you're safe.
I think it's not totally fair because I think what it is Alyssa has found her niche, her brand, and it was something that she shied away from on her season of doing on the main stage. And I think the reason they're so appreciative of it is it is Alyssa.
It's Alyssa.
It is her brand, it is her legacy, it is what she is known for.
And that's all they want.
And she's taking it and running with it. And it wasn't on the episode, but you could see it on Logo's website. They did take Alyssa to task for her little shoes. I have to say that I think the most intelligent person in this episode was Alaska 5000 Thunder Whoop, because it just masterful what she did with Alyssa. She sat Alyssa down, focused her, and said, you're just gonna go crazy. I'll prompt you, talk about it. This is Alyssa's secret.
Yeah.
You get all the views on Alyssa's secret. So we're gonna do Alyssa's secret live on stage and just wait for my cues.
Yeah, and it was so intelligent.
It was perfect.
To just kind of let her be kooky.
And to have Alaska standing at the mic, all demure, and then having Alyssa just
her
roaming,
one-liners,
and then just giving you the zinger to Alyssa's crazy. Ouch.
It was so funny.
And it was so quintessentially the two of them. It was Alyssa, as we have come to know and expect, and then Alaska with the deadpan, like, burn.
And I think what was so good about it was that, you know, Alaska, I feel like she felt really guilty about having to send Alyssa home. So I think this time she really just wanted to, like, let Alyssa have her redemption and let her have her moment.
Yeah.
Because I think Alaska knows as much as everybody else does that Alyssa was doing the best that she could do with her script. It wasn't Alyssa's fault that the script sucked and that she had to be sent home. Doo-wah, except that. And so I feel like she was just like, Alyssa's a funny person. I'm gonna let her be funny.
Yeah, and it worked to her advantage beautifully because it definitely came across that Alaska was the, you know, the overarching presence of the thing, in that she was kind of the idea and made it blossom. And so it reflected beautifully on both of them. And also it's always great to have another beast.
And then our other top team was Detox and Tatiana, and I loved their matching outfits. That was adorable.
And
I'm like, where did you find those? Did Detox just happen to like bring matching outfits?
One in every color.
Maybe Detox brought them for like the makeover challenge if they had one.
Oh, maybe.
They both looked amazing. I thought their comedy was hysterical. I thought Tatiana doing the genitals thing again was really, really funny.
And then flipping it on you, I had braces.
That was so
fantastic.
Funny.
Great. Not as funny as Alaska and Alyssa, I think, but it was great.
A solid other top two.
A solid contender.
I really love Detox's Sally Fields Boniva comment. I thought that was hysterical.
It was
funny.
Fantastic. I have to shout out to Alyssa and Alaska for also matching color-wise. And I think that if Katya and Ginger had also matched too, it would have helped them. And just for crying out loud, Ginger, you couldn't bust out that black velvet spray. There it was, right there. That's all it needed.
That's all you needed.
And you would have matched. The interesting thing about what Tati and Detox did is it's essentially what Coco and Fifi
I
did,
was just about
but
to say
successful. They created characters and they did a skit, but they had structured jokes. They were actually going somewhere with it. The problem with Fifi and Coco's is that entire damn thing rested on the one joke, the two jokes. Two jokes about the crushed up cheese crackers.
Yeah.
And the key since you can't find one.
Those are the only two things that they had. Where at least Detox and Tati had a lot more jokes.
They had jokes, they had some puns, some alliterations. It was great. I loved it. It was a bowl. We all had a bowl.
My only problem with it was that I couldn't really understand what Detox was saying through most of it. So that was really my only complaint.
Yeah.
But I thought Tatiana was good. And I think that it was really nice that she got to get her chance to lip sync to come back.
Unsurprisingly, Fifi and Roxy are in the bottom.
This is Roxy's third time in a row being at the bottom.
Ding.
I personally would have sent Fifi home, even though Roxy had been in the bottom more times, just because I'm tired of Fifi's attitude. And I feel like she's being so catty on the show. And while I'm not Roxy's biggest fan, I'm just kind of over Fifi. So Alyssa and Tatiana get to lip sync, and that lip sync number snatched my wig, made me bald, had to go buy a new wig. That was...
She doesn't even have her own hair anymore. She got nothing. Snatched.
Shut up and drive.
Great song.
Pause.
Shout out to Alyssa and Tati for keeping the matching but not thing going and matching corsets with little flared skirts and high boots in black and white. Tati in blonde. Alyssa in the dirty dark color.
And shout out to Alyssa for pulling out her wig from last week to do this lip sync. They were amazing. Tatiana was doing like the sexual thing and Alyssa was doing the dancer thing. And when Bruce said, Tatiana, you're the winner, I was like, yes! And then Bruce said, Alyssa, you're also the winner. I was like, I fucking called it. Remember last week? I said it. I was like, I would love it if the two of them came back. Correct. I think that sneeze messed up my boobs. It did. I was so happy. And like, I was really hoping that there would either be a save or two people would be brought back because Adora did leave. And I'm like, that's not really fair.
We have a gap to fill.
Yeah, exactly. It's not really fair that somebody, you know, loses an opportunity because Adora walked out.
There's a hole that needs filling.
And my hole needs to be filled. So I was so happy. And then when Rue said that each one would, whoever they picked would be eliminated. So like, I would have I would have been bummed if one of them had picked Roxy because that means that both of them would have left. At the same time, I wouldn't have been terribly upset, but I would have been bummed because it's like I want to see if Roxy can redeem herself more.
Yeah, I think attitude-wise, I think Roxy's really redeemed herself. Even when
she's so much more mature.
She's so much more mature. She's so much kinder, so much more patient. And even when she says shady things, I can tell she's being silly shady. Mm-hmm. She's not being bitchy. That's the difference. She's being shady. She's not being bitchy.
Yeah.
And like she's even laughing at her reads as she says them, you know.
It's like Katya.
Yeah, she's like, and it's so much more endearing. If she does go at some point, I will be very sad to see that happen.
This top 6 is the best top 6 that there has been, I think, ever in history. The end of this episode was really upsetting because Fifi was so disrespectful to these girls when she left, and it then being like, oh, can I sell the trophy? You know, like being just so awful and hateful, and then being even more hateful in social media, and it's just like, girl, this is not the edit. This is you.
According to Fifi, the reason she refused to hug Alyssa and what is written on her mirror message, which they did not show, is that she didn't want to do any hugs because she was going to start crying. So apparently that's what her farewell message says. It's something, I'm paraphrasing, but something along the lines of, I didn't want to start hugging because I knew I would start crying.
But she hugged Tatiana. Tatiana chased after her and she hugged her. And then Fifi went out of her way to go down and hug Alaska.
She did. It definitely did not look.
It didn't look good. And if you're trying to get a redemption and trying to make people believe that you're a certain way, then you need to go out of your way to be more kind. Like what Roxy's doing. And I will compare
like I said
the two of them to my dying breath, that what Roxy's doing is exactly what you're supposed to do for your redemption. What Fifi's doing is not doing that.
Right. I do stand by what I said before. I do not think it's right that she's getting death threats.
No,
I do
not
not
at
think
all.
it's right that she's being harassed about it. I do not think the way she is carrying herself at this point is
Professional.
It's
not.
I think it would have been better to just do an adore and just say, I don't want to talk about this. You know, choices were made, things happened, it was over a year ago, I'm moving on.
That's all she's got to say.
And I think that would have been the best thing to do, and maybe it's not always fair, but I think there were ways that she could have done this, salvaged some reputation,
saved some face.
Saved a little face, not completely defamed the company
through painted by fame.
Completely
#blessed.
Completely misdefamed everything, and still gotten, you know, moved on with her life. Yeah. And I don't think lashing out and blaming everyone else is the way. I don't think taking the blame and just, you know, taking that hit and hurting for it is the right answer either. So it's a really messy situation, and you know, you can ask any of the queens, you can look at any of their social medias. Even Ginger was just talking on her Twitter about how hard it is. Even Katya just tweeted something about how awful it is in the comment sections and on Reddit and on the internet to get through sometimes. So
people are awful.
People are awful on the internet. It is very unfortunate that it all went down the way it did. And I mean, I don't like how Fifi acted. I don't like how she's acting now, but I do feel bad for her.
Totally.
Not in a, I pity you, pathetic creature. I feel bad for her as a human. Like, she doesn't deserve it.
Next week, we have a type of acting challenge. It looks like they're going to be hawking, like, their brand. So somebody will bring a Puppython.
A Puppython. It's definitely a cross between the mini challenge from Raja's season.
And, like, almost a perfume challenge.
And the perfume challenge meets.
This is just season 5 all over again. We know from the past seasons that there wasn't really an acting challenge. The only acting challenge I had in season 2 was that country one, and Tatiana was, I think, safe. Maybe she did well. I can't really remember. Was she safe or did she do good?
I think she did well.
She did well.
I don't remember who won that challenge.
Raven was in the bottom. Raven was in the bottom with Mystique.
Jessica Wilde won it, didn't she? For her chicken?
Oh, maybe.
Listen, guys, season 2 was a long time ago, and I'm getting old too.
And then we know from season 5 that Alyssa and Roxy struggled in the perfume challenge, which was kind of acting, and they've struggled in acting too. I feel like Detox and Alaska are going to do very well. I would not be surprised if they were in the top. And then I wouldn't be surprised if Katya does well, because she's a very good actress, but there was nothing really comparable to this type of challenge in season 7, so there's nothing really to like base it off
We're great
of.
friends.
She won that acting challenge.
She did. I think Katya will get by because she's
She'll
innately
camp it
likable.
up.
Even when she just rambles, it's something funny and like, I mean, that is why she's so popular. Is because of and because of her RuCall and her reflections. Just Katya being Katya. So
Yeah.
I think she'll do great. I'm sure she'll find something good. I'm not sure about Detox or Alaska, actually, just from the clips we saw.
They really seem to focus on them.
They focused on them, and something seemed a little off.
Maybe this is when Alaska falls in the bottom.
So, I don't know. Because, I mean, yes, Alaska did do great in the past. But I also, not to discredit Alaska, but I almost feel like part of what made Red for Filth so successful was Michelle's guiding hand there.
Yeah.
Because it didn't come together until
Michelle started
doing the thing. I'm a little worried for them. Detox also hit bumpy roads in her thing too.
That's true, but they really like her heroine.
Heroin. I think Aliska needs Aliska sked words. I think Alyssa needs to be careful. I think Tatiana's gonna do fine. I think after just coming back, I feel like she's just gonna be like And even though Alyssa was eliminated, she literally didn't even leave the studio. She literally just walked behind the mirror, sat down, they touched up her makeup, turned the light on her, and she was right back in it. So I don't think that being eliminated really hit Alyssa, because she didn't have time to process it.
Yeah.
Tatiana's been sitting,
In her hotel room
for
a
couple days or weeks or whatever. So I think she's really gonna have the fire to make sure she doesn't go back anytime soon. And I think
the rumors that she makes the top 3.
And I think it's going to be to Alyssa's detriment that she didn't even actually go home. At this point, my only 2 that I desperately need to see get to the top are Alaska and Katya. I would love it if Tatiana does, but because she did go home, I grieved, I mourned, I moved on. There was a movie about this woman who choked on a piece of chicken, dies. Year later, or like 3 years later, the friend is able to cast a spell that brings her back from the dead, and then the whole movie is her going back and finding out like her husband's moved on and remarried. She's trying to like deal with having been dead for like 3-5 years, however long it was, and her friend being like, no, this is fine. Don't know what the movie's called, don't remember what happened, just popped you in the boob with my wand.
Do you remember when Kirstie Alley died in Sleepless?
Do you remember
that?
That is a genius movie. Dun, 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 dun.
The rumors are that Tatiana, Alyssa, and Alaska are top 3.
Alyssa.
And that
Alyssa.
Katya was top 4 and goes home, and then Detox goes home before that. I think. But then there's rumors that Roxy gets a top 4, and that top 4 is the ball, and that's when Roxy goes home. So it's just like, there's so many theories on what happens, so many rumors about what's going on, that I'm like, I just would not be upset if Roxy went home next, just because she's been in the bottom so much.
If Roski or Aliska or Discox or Oskaska or Kaskia. If Roxy or Detox or Alyssa went home next, I wouldn't be devastated.
I would be devastated if Tatiana went home.
If Tatiana, Katya, or Alaska go home, I will be very sad.
P.S. One final thought.
Penis?
Akasha was in the audience, and she looked amazing. I didn't even recognize her.
You know who really looked amazing in that audience? Victoria Porkchop.
Oh my gosh, she was just so unamused. Jackie Beat posted that picture,
So good.
and did you see it? She posted on her Instagram the picture of Porkchop just being so unamused, and Jackie's caption on it was, "I'm sorry, the McRib won't be out until next month." It just killed me.
We are too emotionally invested in this show.
I'm a super fan of this show.
We are in deep. Do you
Balls
know what-
deep.
Balls deep. Almost as deep.
As
Yes.
Adele, Roland. What did you think of this week's episode? Were you happy about who went home? Do you disagree? Do you think somebody else should have gone home? Who do you think is going to go home next week? And at this point, who would you like to see in your top 3? Let us know in the comments below. And we'll see you all again next week, whether you want us to or not. Poof.